Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Huge shout out to all the iTrack fam tapping in, man. You know, I stay surfing through all the comments, man, and I love all the feedback. And I definitely want to show love to all the people that know how to show positivity. So big shout out to all the people that, you know, have been shown love. In a world full of hate and deceit, we need all the positive energy we can gather. So huge shout out to everybody that knows how to show love, man. I appreciate you guys. Per usual, I got a handful of interesting and creepy videos that have come from all around the globe. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what's real and what's fake, man.
I just witnessed an orb being followed by a helicopter. Watch this video, it's right over my house. Yo. That is a freaking orb. That's an orb being chased by a helicopter. What the hell? That is a straight up orb, dude. Being followed by a freaking helicopter. What the hell? I just now pulled up. Smells like something's burning. That is nuts.
Jeffrey called me one day and he said, Lisa, remember what you told me on the island is that you wanted to be a Ford model. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm friends with Katie Ford. And from there, signed up with the agency, and I was with Ford Modeling Agency for over 10 years after that.
The abusers, they use and they yield their power in so many different ways.
Well, we have to differentiate between bladers and abusers and the ones that just want to be, who go up to girls and like, I can help you with your singing career. They may know people in the business, but they just really want one thing from you. There's so many of those types of men. Then you have these men who are really good at grooming you and making you trust them. So he did something for me that was huge. Right. That was life-changing for me. Now all of a sudden, Jeffrey's a good guy in my in my mind. He was a powerful person, but he wasn't a playboy. He never gave you drugs and alcohol. He wasn't a P. Diddy. He would send gifts to my parents' house. And the little black book that came out, my parents' number was in it.
So it seems to me Jeffrey was a kind of a master creep, you know, the kind you had to really watch out for because you didn't really know where he was coming from. At least from a P. Diddy, if you were wise enough, you understood what his game was.
Justin Bieber Instagram something, he put up something on the story that said, your Bible can't save you. I'm like, oh shit, does Justin Bieber work for the dark side? Part of some like Illuminati shit or like...
Anyone that eats spinach is ruining their health. People think spinach is a health food. It is not. It's literally an anti-health food. Spinach has one of the highest levels of oxalates in any other fruit or veg.
I'm a holistic RN, and this is true. Spinach is on the dirty dozen list. It's high in oxalates and can have pesticide residue. While it might not be the healthiest option for everyone, you can still include it in your diet, but make sure you buy organic to reduce pesticides and cooking it to decrease the oxalates.
Here she goes. Yeah! Whoa!
May now know why Klaus Schwab abruptly resigned from the WEF after 50 years. And not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. Now, if you don't know what the WEF is, you probably never come across any conspiracy ever. The World Economic Forum was founded by Klaus himself in 1971, and it serves as a private membership-based entity which annually gathers global elites and facilitates closed-door discussions to shape the world's economic, social, and political issues. Just some of the WEF's 1,000 member companies include the heads of JP Morgan, BlackRock, Microsoft, Pfizer. Approximately 350 world leaders and senior officials attend each year. There's billionaire investors, representatives from global media outlets, leaders from bodies like the United Nations, International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. But if none of that rings a bell, some of their terms that you may have heard of include the Great Reset, or the phrase when they predicted by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. So while the truth of the conspiracies that surround the WEF can be debated, why they exist in the first place is not hard to understand. However, on April the 1st, something major happened. The very person who has brought together some of the most powerful people on the planet for 50 plus years announced that he would be gradually stepping down over the next 2 years. However, on April the 21st, the same day the Pope died, he suddenly resigned, effective immediately. And at the time, everyone was like, what the hell? And no one really knew why. But now, we might. There's always been extreme allegations against Klaus Schwab, but they were often dismissed because of who they were coming from. However, as of today, the WEF themselves, the organization he founded, just unanimously agreed to launch an independent investigation into Klaus. And they decided to do this after anonymous, former and current staff sent a letter to the board accusing him of almost everything: financial misconduct, ethical misconduct, sexual harassment, discrimination, and even manipulating WEF research. However, the key word that they say before the investigation is the word independent. And with the classic independent investigations that we've seen from countless corporations and non-profits, they are selecting and paying for the investigators themselves. They set the scope of what gets looked into and what doesn't, and who investigators can speak to and who they can't. And most importantly, they control how findings are released, if at all. So while yes, all of the current headlines say that they're launching an investigation, I wouldn't necessarily expect the findings to be groundbreaking.
When, Kim was Paris Hilton's assistant, I said I had a baby with Paris Hilton over Kim Kardashian. You guys, could you imagine if I had kids with Paris Hilton, how many hotels I have now? You get what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about that. The Hilton, the Hilton shit. Yeah. Because I think y'all staying in a Hilton right now. The fucking Edition Hotels is a Hilton. You know what I'm saying? And Paris Hilton had the vision, and then that's what happened. Kim was like the Virgil. Kim was like Paris Hilton's Virgil. And that's what happened. If you like Arnold Schwarzenegger and you have a kid with a nanny, the nanny only power is to take your kids. So Kim's only power is to take my kids. I had a baby with a fucking assistant, bro. And then put her on Vogue. Bro. You can't put no motherfucking assistant on Vogue, bro. That's exactly Bernardo know that, and it's king time now, bro. No more motherfucking assistants, no more hugs.
Kanye told us everything about Diddy. So a couple years ago when Kanye was going on his rants, as everybody was calling them, he was literally telling us everything that we needed to know about Diddy. Kanye told us that Corey Gamble was a plant and he was first working for Diddy. And I can never skip the fact that Corey Gamble was at Kim Porter's house when she passed away. And mind you, Kim Porter did not share this house with Diddy. They were not even together during this time. And then Kanye said Corey Gamble went to Justin Bieber to be his tour manager after working for Diddy. We all know the rumors about Justin Bieber and Diddy. I don't even have to get into that, but it's super weird that you end up from Diddy to Justin Bieber. And then he explained this is when Corey Gamble got with Kris Jenner. And we know that Kris Jenner and Diddy have been seen together on multiple different occasions. Kanye even listed the names of people who had to do whatever they were told, naming Jay-Z and Beyonce and Diddy. He also named Meek Mills and Lil Boosie, and he said the reason that these people have to listen to whatever they're told and pull on Kanye's coattail while he was outing everything so publicly is because they unalived people. He even posted the text messages on his Instagram to Diddy. Didn't like our combo, I'm selling these teas. And at the end he said, come do something illegal to me, please. Diddy actually texted back kind of crazy saying, send me an address. Let's stop playing these internet games and don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love. And during all of these rants, he was talking about people who got offed in the industry like Michael Jackson, Prince, and even Aaron Carter. And the rumor being spread is Aaron Carter was about to out everything happening in Hollywood. And weirdly enough, before Aaron Carter passed away, he actually said on Twitter, yo Kanye, let's talk man to man. And this was still during the same time that Kanye was being very publicly spoken about what was happening in Hollywood. And then recently, Kanye did an IG Live a couple months ago and literally said exactly what happened to Aaron Carter.
They follow me to the hotel. The nigga killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the Backstreet Boys sample. You get what I'm saying? Harley passing that pusher. Your trainer, Harley Passion that, Jay-Z.
And then Kanye literally mentions Jay-Z's name like he had a part in it. Everybody is saying that Jay-Z is going to go down right next to Diddy, and all of this shit with Kanye is so crazy. And if you add everything that he has said together, it's literally connecting the dots to what we're seeing play out with Diddy right now. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour is allegedly doing worse than Katy Perry's tour, which is not doing much better. She had thousands of unsold tickets before her opening night in Los Angeles, and it is not looking good for her. Everything in this video is alleged, not confirmation of validity of allegations. If you thought the one from earlier this week was bad, this is way, way worse. 3 weeks out, and the starting ticket price is 30% less than the one from earlier, and there are twice as many tickets available. Our A-list singer is in deep, deep trouble. And again, this is allegedly Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour. And the previous blind item from earlier last week about Katy Perry's tour reads, 2 weeks to go, not even a stadium, it's half an arena, it is half empty. All of you know them. Who is it? And this is allegedly Katy Perry. And the related headline reads, fans paid hundreds for what they thought would be a sold-out Beyonce tour. Now they're shocked she can't fill a stadium. The Independent crunched the numbers and found thousands of unsold tickets to the superstar's 2025 Cowboy Carter tour, with over 3,200 unsold seats remaining for her opening night in Los Angeles alone.
You know what? Beyonce and Katy Perry do seem to be a bit out of reach. You know, they're not in real visible eyesight, right? So I can see how their motion would be slowing down. Definitely.
This is why I don't argue or make fun of people that say they have seen hybrids, ghost encounters, Bigfoot. I can't even watch scary films because of how real they are to me. Ephesians 6 verses 12 reads, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So who was Paul talking about? I done told y'all that Paul, Stephen, Peter, John the Baptist, Noah, they all saw real deities. They knew exactly who was who and what was happening. If Peter can see Elijah, what makes you think Amos didn't witness Moloch or a Nephilim? I am not calling Elijah a pagan deity. I am trying to paint this picture that people were actively witnessing spirits, demons, hybrids, live on both sides. Okay, I understand it now. Paul was talking about what Solomon encountered here. I therefore, having hearing this, glorify the Lord God, and again I question the demons, saying, tell me how ye can ascend into heaven, being demons, and amidst the stars and holy angels intermingle. And he answered, just as things are fulfilled in heaven, so also on earth are fulfilled the types of all of them. For there are principalities, authorities, world rulers, and we demons fly about in the air, and we hear the voices of the heavenly beings, and survey all the powers, and as having no ground basis on which to alight and rest, we lose strength and fall off like leaves from trees. And men seeing us imagine that the stars are falling from heaven, but it is not really so, O King, but we fall because of our weakness, and because we have nowhere anything to lay hold of, and so we fall down like lightnings in the depth of the night, and suddenly, and we set cities in flames and fire the fields, for the stars have firm foundations in the heavens like the sun and the moon.
Can you guess how many franchises Shaquille O'Neal owns?
Of Papa John's?
I'm going to go through the list of the companies. You're going to tell me how many.
Okay.
This man made a ton of money off the court.
Okay, let's hear it.
Papa John's. How many franchises does he have?
50.
50?
That would be a lot.
No, that would be a lot.
10.
10 was really close. He has 9.
That's insane.
How many Auntie Anne's does Shaq own?
I didn't know he was involved in Auntie Anne's.
He's involved in everything.
He owns like 3 of them, right?
Not 23, but kind of close. 17 Auntie
I
Anne's.
said 3. Damn.
What about Five Guys?
Didn't know he owned that either.
Got
I'm
a
going to
bunch
say
of
he owns
franchises.
15
It's a
Five
franchise,
Guys.
so he owns franchises of Five Guys.
He owns 15 of them.
Why don't you go a little bit higher?
25.
Higher.
30.
155
What?
Five Guys.
Isn't that like all the Five Guys?
I don't think it's all of them, but you know, he's got a lot of them.
Jeez.
24-hour fitness. He's got a bunch of gyms.
How does he do this? Who manages all these?
I don't know. It's not him, right?
I don't know. 45.
Yes, it was 40. 40
I knew
24-hour fitness.
Very well rounded in 24-hour fitness.
Krispy Kremes.
Didn't know he owned that either. 67.
No, he only owns one.
Oh, just one
One
Krispy
Krispy Kreme. He didn't want to die.
Get your numbers up.
Would have been bad for his health to get too much into the donuts.
Yeah, but he's in Pizza Hut.
Car washes.
No, 167.
Not a bad guess, Brian.
I know
150 car washes.
Yeah, I knew that one.
So Shaq owns 9 Papa John's, 17 Auntie Anne's, 155 Five Guys, 40 24-hour fitnesses, 1 Krispy Kreme, 150 car washes. This guy made of money.
He literally has so much money. Please come on the podcast.
In Egypt, they have like a depiction of the firmament on the walls. You'll see the stars in the body of that goddess creature. It's usually feminine. And it's the heavens. It's what humans depicted as the blue sky, because it was ancient flat earth cosmology. That's actually a drawing depiction of a real wall inscription in Egypt. So you can go and you could go see this on the walls, and notice how anthropomorphic they make it, yet it is mythology. And see the boat on the left? I wonder where that boat comes from, where these boats come from. There's another Egyptian myth where there's 8 survivors on the flood. This guy's name was Noah, but in Egypt, there's a boat with 8 characters on it, and they're gods of some sort. So in the older stories, gods could even die. You're going to pretend your book is not built off the mythologies of these older civilizations. You live in a bubble. You're Bubble Boy.
I'll take her name to my voodoo priest, and that girl will I remember I had a barber. I've told you guys the story before. Yeah. And this barber of mine, he'd cut my hair. And I remember one day I came in and I was feeling disturbed in my spirit. Studying him, I'm looking at him. And I see he had multiple rings on his fingers. And he began to disturb my spirit. And I told him to turn down the music. It's demonic. I didn't like the lyrics of it. Then he turned it up and he was drinking this, I think it was like a gin. It will make him more powerful.
Yeah.
So this is a silly guy. I remember he started to talk to us about, he said, any girl that I want, for as long as I have her name, I'll take her name to my voodoo priest. And that girl will like me. I can get her to like me.
Jesus.
I just need the name. And then somebody that was sat on the other side said, oh, so if you can get whatever you want or any girl you want, why don't you ask for $1 million?
Yeah.
And he said, the reason why I haven't asked for $1 million is because I'm not ready to sacrifice at that level.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? He said, in order to get $1 million, I'll have to fly to where my voodoo priest is, cover my eyes. They hand me a sword. And the condition is simple. Whatever stands before you, you kill. And if you can kill whoever stands before you, then you'll receive the $1 million. So there are some corridors of power you don't enter with an empty altar.
If that's what it takes to get $1 million, I don't want it like that. I'd rather put in that sweat equity. You know what I mean? But let me know what you think.
Have been lying to you. There used to be a 13th month, but they erased it, leaving us with a false historical timeline. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar, but this calendar doesn't really make much sense. It was primarily designed to help people remember when to pay their taxes. The word calendar actually comes from calends, an ancient word meaning account book. The months in our current calendar are a complete mess. March is named after Mars, the god of war. July and August are named after Julius and Augustus Caesar, who decided they should each have a month named after them. But this is where it gets scary. The order of the months doesn't make any sense either. Septem means 7, Octo means 8, Novem means 9, and Decem means 10. Instead, the 13-month calendar used by many ancient cultures follows the natural cycles of the moon. It has 13 months each with 28 days, and if you multiply 13 by 28, you get 364 days, perfectly matching the moon's orbit. The 13-month calendar didn't just disappear, it was replaced with one built for control, not the truth. Comment moon below and I'll reveal the name of the lost month.
When did the Large Hadron Collider go live? That was 2007, I think it was, or 2008. How large is it? How large is it? It's 27 kilometers, so it's about 16 miles.
16 miles, and it's a circular, sort of a building.
Well, it's a big tube. I mean, you think basically it's mainly under France and partly under Switzerland, and it accelerates protons around in a circle. Both ways. One beam goes one way, one goes the other way, and they go around 11,000 times a second. So that's very close to the speed of light, 99.999999% the speed of light. And then we cross the beams and collide the particles. And in those collisions, you're recreating the conditions that were present less than a billionth of a second after the Big Bang.
Why don't you sit down and write a top 40 hit song sometime?
I could do it if I wanted, but even if I did, the chances of it getting played on a top 40 radio station are not very good.
Why is that?
Because of the attitudes of programmers, and there's a certain political rigmarole that one must go through in order to have a top 40 record, including special types of presents to certain people in the industry. And that's something that I don't wish to be involved in.
Our age, and it's just scary because that could have been any one of us. And she was an angel, and I know that now she's with God.
People have no idea where cell phones came from. So cell phones are extraterrestrial technology. Have you seen the pictures of the original Nokia phone? They're symbols instead of letters. It's ancient, thousands and thousands of years ago, but it was found. You gotta look this up. There's actual pictures. It's so cool, unless they've censored it. iPhones originally used to be called Me's. Used to be a device where certain beings could communicate with the gods, which were extraterrestrial. It's really set up for addiction, tracking and monitoring humans. And we've made our whole society around this.
Breaking, the feds want to keep the public from ever seeing the Diddy freak-off videos. And not just the video. The feds say that the audio of the freak-offs should never reach the ears of the public or the press. Just to be clear, these aren't Diddy's attorneys saying this. These are the feds prosecuting Diddy saying this. They say that these are extremely sensitive videos that are going to involve other people and in some cases, Diddy himself. So what and who exactly is in these videos that they do not want the public or press seeing? They also say that they are working on a way to have the jury see the videos without anyone else ever seeing them. Now, I don't know about you, but this definitely smells like some kind of cover-up. What it looks like is they want to take Diddy down, but they want to make sure that they leave the rest of the industry intact.
I highly doubt they're going to be able to keep something like that a secret. You know, it's going to be too many people willing to pay to even see or hear what was going on them Diddy tapes.
Entered from my phone into my arm, and then it exited out my leg.
Yeah, your butt.
It literally came out of my butt. I want superpowers, and if I don't get them, that's going to be sad, but I'm going to go get a lotto ticket and see what happens. So I was laying in my room, and it was about like 2:30 something, like it was pretty late, and I heard this big bang, and I didn't really think of anything of it, and I was about to go to bed, so I put my phone on charge, and I'm just watching TikTok on my bed, and then this big bang, and everything went white, and my whole body started shaking, everything was exploding, and then because I had my phone in my hands, the electric current went into me, and my whole arm went numb, and it just felt like I was almost having a seizure. And then my whole arm went numb, my leg went numb, part of my face went numb, and then everything was on fire, so I was like, I need to get out of here. And I grabbed my dog and I was like, I'm out, and I left. And then I ran upstairs, I was like, I can't feel my arm, I can't feel, like, the house is on fire, help me. Yeah, so the roof caved in, and then my bed, like my blanket was on fire, the side of my bed was on fire, and all the ports had come out and exploded. So everything was like flaming up and stuff.
She's feeling energized.
I am feeling, it was pretty shocking. I'm not gonna lie, it was so unexpected, and I feel great. I haven't slept though, but I feel better than I thought I would after getting struck by lightning, so that's a plus.
I mean, if that's not some sort of sign, I don't know what is. When lightning can hit you through the roof of your house, you know, that's something special, to say the least.
There is a story about a famous murdered remote viewer by the name of Pat Price. Back in the 1970s, Pat Price was possibly the best remote viewer the United States ever had. He was an off-the-charts remote viewer. He was that good. He had one of the rare abilities to read alphanumeric information. That is, in other words, he could read documents and file cabinets and things like this. He was extremely, extremely proficient. On one occasion, he did, on his own, he said, some remote viewing work on where alien bases were here on planet Earth. He strolled into the office in the mid-70s of Hal Puthoff, who was running the program, and said, oh yes, by the way, I thought I would just, on my spare time, look to see where the alien bases were. This is true, he said this. And he identified several. They were all basically in mountain areas. So one was in the Pyrenees, one was in Mount Hayes, Alaska. And he said regarding that base, the Mount Hayes, Alaska base, he said that has political protection in the United States government.
This person is reconstructing Leonardo da Vinci's self-supporting bridge, a brilliant design created by Leonardo that requires no nails or extra fasteners. It relies on clever physics and engineering, where wooden pieces are arranged so that they interlock and support one another through pressure and balance. The reconstruction uses 9 pieces of wood, aligning with the original design.
It took me 25 years to realize this about The Matrix. So this movie is obviously a masterpiece, but did you ever realize just how clever it actually is? Because there are many clues in this film that are mind-blowing. Apart from how Neo is an anagram for one. In this shot on the red pill side, Neo's left arm reaches up for that red pill, but on the blue pill side, that same arm remains lowered at his side. So 2 different realities, one where he never reached out and one where he did. Neo's passport expires on September 11, 2001, and the movie came out in 1999. Make of that what you will. Then there's this kung fu overhead shot where Neo and Morpheus kick simultaneously and their colors mix in a way that make them yin and yangs of each other. In the woman in the red dress scene, she distracts us too, because you don't notice this at first, but many of the extras in the scene are duplicates of each other. There are 2 nuns, 2 sailors, and 2 bald men. The Matrix opens with E minor, which represents the sorrowful hell of the Matrix, and C major for freedom. And each sequel climbs half a step, Reloaded in F minor, and Revolutions in G minor.
Who did this mess? Cody, did you make this mess?
Who did this?
Who ate the toy? Bella ate the toy. Did Bella eat the toy?
Who did this?
Who did this? Who?
Who did it? Mariah, Shania.
Who did this?
Which one of you dogs ate a whole quiche? It was her, wasn't it?
This, and this one's fine. Like but I have a suspicion.
Bag of dog food. Who got into that? Who got into the dog food?
I got a massage from an AI robot. AI robots are now masseuses, and I'm not mad about it. The machine starts out with a full body scan so that the massage is completely personalized. They give you an iPad where you can adjust the pressure of the massage, the music you're listening to, or even the headrest positioning. Throughout the massage, the iPad shows you what areas are being targeted. At first, the concept was so bizarre to me, but then I genuinely forgot that I was being massaged by a robot.
The funny part about that is somebody was just telling me AI will never take over the job of a masseuse. And here we are, getting ready to take over the job of a masseuse.
It happened at the Vatican. I saw it. We were supposed to meet with the Pope, and I went and I met with several cardinals, I think the good cardinals, and I saw stuff that I had never seen before. That night, we were with, I don't even remember who they were, but they were the most Christ-like, cardinals and preachers or whatever they were. You could tell everybody's guard in that group, everybody's guard was up. And all of a sudden, and I'm not kidding you, the room dropped 10 degrees. Mm-hmm. And I happened to be looking at the door way across this huge room. And here comes this guy. So he was the main guy that, you had to get by if you were going to get to the Pope. And I said, holy cow, who is that guy? And the whole group of really nice guys turned around and looked at him. And one of them turned back and went, oh, you can feel that? And I said, oh, yeah. And they were like, oh, good sense on you. Oh, no, he's leading the opposition. So he's the guy, I think, that was helping thwart Benedict. But it's exactly what we saw in 2016. It's what we're now seeing in the EU, where the people with power are just taking people out.
Is it true that you invented the walk away with the explosion behind you?
Yeah, that was
You
accident.
invented
Yeah,
that?
yeah. If you can look at all the compilations, it starts with Desperado.
Wow.
Because it was an accident. I didn't think, this is what happened. So in Desperado, in the script, it says he throws some grenades over the side of this building to blow up the bad guys, and him and Salma walk away. It was just supposed to see some body parts fly. It was just a grenade, it was supposed to be a nuclear explosion. Just some body parts, some shrapnel, and some smoke. But it's 2 stories up, and we get there, and we're shooting so fast. I went to my poor effects guy who was just, so busy just having done a big shootout. And I went, man, I know you don't have body parts we didn't ask for, but do you have anything we can just throw? It's so high up. Is there anything you can launch up there? And he goes, no, I don't have anything. So I need something to come up because I wanted some shit to fly up behind him. And he goes, I'll give you a fireball. I said, fireball? Like what? It'll go up 60 feet, but it's propane, so it's going to burn off like that. How fast does it burn off? Like that. So, okay, I'll shoot slow motion. Okay, we'll shoot slow motion. I tell the actors, just keep walking. Don't turn around because it's supposed to be pretty big and it might be really hot. I don't want you to singe your eyebrows. Just walk fast. Walk fast and determined, but I'm going to shoot. It's going to feel funny, but when I shoot it in slow motion, it'll look like you're just walking normal speed and it'll slow down the explosion.
The police can find almost anything you do on your phone. It doesn't matter how you try and hide it. If you think that you can use incognito mode to search for something and get away with it and the police will never know that you searched that, you're wrong. If you think that you can search for something on Google Maps or Waze and the police won't know that you searched it, you're wrong. I've made a video in the past about people who think that stuff disappears off Snapchat and the police won't be able to find it. They're wrong. You're wrong. If you don't already know the modes of communication, the methods of communication that you can be using on your phone without the police figuring it out, you've got a question about, well, do they know about this platform or that platform? The answer is almost certainly the police will be able to find it. So stop incriminating yourself.
Hey, just in case you thought you had some privacy, you don't, so here's some gems for you to pick up and use for yourself.
Doja Cat has gotten every single video that I have ever done on her taken down. But let's try this again. So Doja has a red and black aura. This tells me that she is somebody very passionate, but she's also running on the DNA of those who are not her. She is somebody that has a lot of protection around her. There's definitely a lot of magic on her. She has a very dualistic energy, and I do feel like she is somebody that is decently versed in the occult. I'm definitely getting a starseed energy from Doja, and I feel like she has communication with interdimensional and extraterrestrial beings. I always find it really interesting to read the auras of celebrities and also people that are well versed in the occult because there's so much energy that is just... I also want to say that there is a lot of energies on Doja that are not of her own. And that's what makes her truly magnetic. It's not her energy that you're feeling on her. It's all of these other beings' energies that you are feeling on her. But let me know what you think in the comments below.
7. A very suspicious image appeared on Google Earth. It's a cave entrance that seems to have stairs leading to it. The ground around the entrance is discolored, as if machinery or equipment was moving in and out. The opening is about 250 feet wide. A few months after the image was released, it disappeared from Google Earth. Then sometime around 2019 or 2020, the cave entrance reappeared. But this time it doesn't look much like an entrance. In fact, even though this photo is 10 years newer, the resolution is worse. We see better detail in the older image. That's suspicious and feels like a cover-up. And speaking of cover-ups, a very interesting story appeared in the Free Republic News on April 13th, 2002. The headline read, U.S. denies spectacular ruins in Antarctica captured on video.
What?
Well, here's what happened. A TV crew for a production company called Atlantis TV went to Antarctica. They were investigating a massive archaeological dig rumored to be happening 2 miles beneath the ice. Well, the crew disappeared.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
But Navy rescuers found their camp and some of their equipment. Among the items found was a videotape. 2 Navy officers showed the footage to scientists when they returned to McMurdo Base. What they saw on the tape was, now here's the quote, they said it showed spectacular ruins and other things they couldn't go into. A secret U.S. military expedition apparently discovered an ancient pyramid temple complex 2 miles beneath the ice. So pyramids are showing up again. By the way, the U.S. military blocked the tape from being released. Atlantis TV sued to get their property back. They didn't win. As far as I can tell, they went out of business a few years ago. Other odd images have been spotted on Google Earth, like this one of what appears to be an alien face.
That's like the face on Mars.
It reminds me of that too. Then there's this photo of what looks like a spaceship that crash landed. People have mentioned the shape of it looks similar to Oumuamua.
Muahua?
Oumuamua was first spotted in October 2017. It's the first known interstellar object to pass through our solar system. Its name means scout or messenger in Hawaiian. What made Oumuamua strange were its shape and the way it moved. It was about 400 feet long and 60 feet wide. This cigar-like shape is unlike any other space object we've ever seen. And somehow when Oumuamua left our solar system, it accelerated. This shouldn't have happened. There are rumors that a secret mission went to Oumuamua and said it was a derelict spacecraft. If that's true, then it could be a probe, one of many flying around our galaxy, perhaps from an alien race looking for planets with life.
Or planets to conquer.
Well, there's always that risk. Aliens will discover our planet rich in resources and want it for themselves. But according to witnesses, documents, and images of Antarctica, the aliens are already here, and they have been for a very, very long time.
Back to the cults. Yo, like that's insane, right? Like when you're a celebrity, there's certain things you get invited to that I mean, obviously think of maybe going to, but then thinking there's somewhere you're just like, I'd never go there.
Just gotta be aware, yo. You gotta look at the situation, like, you know, it's a lot of rich people too, you know, because they like to have their way, and they think they can just like buy you or like, you know, kind of opportunity you into doing some random, you know, 3-month retreat that turns into like, you know, a lot of obligations.
Right.
But like, you just gotta be aware of that stuff. I think out here people don't think that it's true because they like watch documentaries or they think it's like false because it seems so crazy, but it's like,
how true is it?
It's very true. It's really true. Like people use
beyond Scientology.
Beyond Scientology, they use mental health as like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's the hook.
Yeah, they like they have little mushroom things.
Let's do
they
this
got
shit,
like
man.
ketamine shit that they do, like, and they like use it as like it's good for you, like, you know what I'm saying? But really, they're like.
And people who watch these documentaries always want to think like, oh, I can't get like sucked into that. But
Yeah,
it's very easy.
Yes, it's super duper easy.
Garcia, you said control's like a control thing.
Like a control thing, yeah.
Yeah.
They just want to get you under their thumb, man.
Yeah.
But what do they want to do with you? Whatever.
I never got that far.
To be continued.
I never got that far.
We don't want to find out.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Nah, yeah. And they, you know, I think they come to you as they want to help you. Mm-hmm. People want to help you.
Yeah,
but
they
you
want to
gotta
be like your spirit guide and all of these things. And it's cool, like, on a surface level, you know what I mean? Because when you take what the benefits from it, it's cool. But then when you start going a little bit deeper, you start to figure out what's really cracking.
Mm-hmm. And you start to figure it out real quick.
Yeah. But if you stay on the surface level, you good. Yeah. Like,
surface level meaning what? Just like keep it cool.
Keep it cool. Hi, bye. You know, information. Namaste. Like, you know what I mean?
Namaste. No. That's right.
But,
yoga mat. The whole shit.
But
Right.
no, I'm not gonna stay.
Hey, that's pure facts, man. People showing up acting like they're your friend, but really in disguise they're your foe. So you got to be careful who you let into your life, who you let into your circle, man. That's real facts. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by and watching another one with me. If you aren't having a good day today, guess what? I'm here to help you have a better one. Smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam, man. Let's keep discovering, keep exploring, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.